Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Today's video is going to be formatted slightly differently because something super exciting is happening. For any of you who have been around a while, I made a video a long time ago talking about my birth story. It was quite the grand adventure for everyone involved. I decided to make my grand entrance at a very inopportune moment. My dad was active military at the time, so my parents were set to move to Alabama, to the Air Force Base over there. All of their stuff had been moved beforehand, they had a place to stay, everything was set and ready to go. But my parents decided to say a final goodbye to my mom's side of the family, my grandparents, her sisters, cousins, before they made their grand trek. On the final night before they were to leave, my mom's water broke. Something that should have been exciting, but wasn't quite because it was 2.5 months before her due date. So my parents rushed to Wright Pat Air Force Base Hospital. My mom delivers me at 8 something in the morning and I'm whisked away by the doctors immediately. So quickly that neither of my parents are even told whether I'm a boy or a girl. They had to physically go out of their way to ask. The reason I was whisked away is because I was very underweight. I was 3 pounds 12 ounces the first day, and then I lost about 1 pound the second day, so I was 2 pounds something ounces. I was so tiny, you really could hold me in one hand. I was immediately placed into the NICU. It quickly became apparent that the Air Force Base didn't have exactly what I needed, so I was transferred to Dayton Children's Hospital. And if you're not from the Dayton area, that is a very well-known children's hospital. I was rushed to the NICU there. I had to have a blood replacement, a blood transfusion, because, and I don't know the medical term for this, my mom's blood and my dad's blood combined inside of me was duking it out. It was having a nice old battle and attacking my system. It's a super rare phenomenon to happen, and the only way to fix it was to replace all of my blood with new. Now, the doctor that was assigned to me had been transferred to this hospital just 2 weeks before I arrived there. And once he figured out what I needed in order to survive, or at least help the survival process along, he explained to a nurse what needed to be done, and she said, "Oh, we don't do blood transfusions on infants." And he said, "We do now." I wanted to give you a little bit of context, some background, because it all circles around the exciting thing that's happening today. Very close by to Dayton Children's Hospital, literally across the street, is something called the Ronald McDonald House. If you don't know what that is, it's an organization that provides parents a place to stay that's close to their little one. They don't have to worry about food, they don't have to worry about having a bed for the night, and it's all free of charge. Fully nonprofit, run by so many volunteers. They figure these parents have enough to worry about with their little one being in the hospital. They don't need to worry about where their next meal is going to come from, where they're going to sleep that night. They take care of everything. And I just love that. That's where my parents stayed while I was at Dayton Children's. We did the math, and I'm pretty sure they stayed around 5 weeks at the Ronald McDonald House. Now, the one they stayed at is no longer in use as the house. It's actually been bought out by Dayton Children's and used for meetings and things like that. However, they've rebuilt. They were not able to house very many families in the building my parents stayed at in 1989. But now, with the rebuild, they're able to house over 40 families at a time, which is so wonderful. I can't imagine being the person that had to make the decision to turn families away, and now they don't have to because they have the room. So why am I telling you all of this? What does this have to do with the big exciting thing going on today? My parents and I were invited to be interviewed by the Ronald McDonald House for their yearly fundraiser, live on the radio, to be able for us to collectively tell the story of how much of an impact Ronald McDonald House has had on our lives, on my life, is so special. And I love that I've been given the opportunity to do that. At the time of me filming this, the event has technically already happened, but I was able to get a few clips to include for you, including the interview, in case any of you didn't see it live. So settle in, and I'll play those clips for you now.
the Ronald McDonald house, and we are live. Hey, it's going on here. We got things are happening. We're in the 11 o'clock hour here. This is crazy. All right, so with that, we have now queued up some of our friends here. There is an awesome story with this next group of folks that are joining us. We've got Bob, Karen, and Cassie. Thank you guys, first of all, for being here. Thanks.
Happy to be here.
All right, so we're going to start with Cassie. You did something we figured out in 2014, so we're going back 11 years. You wrote a song about this place.
I did. So the Ronald McDonald House has been a really important part of my life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give back in some way and encapsulate the story that would relate to other people as well. And so I decided to sit down with my co-writer, Britton Cameron, and said, hey, I have this idea. Let's see if we can flesh it out and make it into something. And you guys were kind enough to feature it 11 years ago. Ooh, really showing my age. 11 years ago.
You're also showing our age. In a much worse fashion. So, but that's all right. Yeah, so I remember that we played it 11 years ago, and it was a great song, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And literally about your experience here, which of course you had as a very, very young person.
Yes, I actually don't have any memories from that because I was a preemie. I was born 2.5 months early. Ooh. And I weighed about 3 pounds, 12 ounces. And it was a really touch and go kind of time, but the Ronald McDonald House was there to allow my parents to be really close to me during that hard time, so where they didn't have to worry about anything but just being there. And I think that's such a wonderful organization to give parents one less thing to worry about.
Right, right. Well, your mom and dad are here with you.
They are.
And mom or dad, you want to tell the story here about what it was like when you guys were here and Cassie was across the street?
Yeah, we're talking back in 1989 is when Cassie was born.
Yeah.
And we're military families, so
okay.
We were on our way to a new station in Alabama, so all of our worldly possessions were already gone. And we stopped here to say hello to the family, and then Cassie decided she wanted to make
she
her
wanted
way
to say
into
hi
the
to
world.
the family too, huh?
Wow, wow.
So we weren't quite sure what we were going to do, but we stayed in the original Ronald McDonald house, and it was such a blessing.
Yeah.
And we had nothing to worry about. We were fed. We were taken care of in every way, and all we had to do was spend time with her and try to get her to where she needed to be.
Yeah. How about you, Dad? How did, I'm sure that whole experience was, we just can't imagine as parents.
No, not at all.
The strain and also hoping your little baby's okay.
Well, sure. In my mind, I had to figure out some place for us to live and ability to be down here regularly and for long periods of time. Family was 45 minutes away, and I don't think they were really set up at that point to have some extra folks in the house. Mm-hmm. So this was really a blessing, having a lot of those things provided to us, particularly the meals, and there's always being something, and I was always amazed at people who providing things, and the kind of things they provided just wasn't average stuff. They were really great meals, mm-hmm. And it really took a lot of stress out of things and those things to be with Cassie.
How long did it take for Cassie to before she was more stable and you guys could actually go home?
Well, we came here, I think, after 5 days from Wright Pat, is that right? And they stayed here for 5 weeks, then went back to Wright Pat for a few weeks. So she basically left on her original due date.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
Wow, right. Wow.
2.5 months for her to get out of the hospital. And then we were still dragging around oxygen,
sure,
paraphernalia and everything, but she's going home.
Wow. And then you had this experience that we're talking about now. It's got to be pretty real that you had this experience. You have no recollection of it whatsoever, but obviously through your parents and through the folks here, they can, and then you have the gumption to write a song about it. all those years later. That's pretty cool to bring it full circle like that. And now here you all are, giving back to the Ronald McDonald House all these years later.
I've always been a storyteller at heart in all sorts of ways. I like to joke that I have creative ADD. I have too many hobbies to just pick one. So I do everything if I can, and one of them is songwriting. I just actually signed a book deal with a publishing company, so that's another way I'm telling stories. But to be able to give almost an anthem to these families who are going through the same things my parents did, and to give them hope, to give them something to cling to know that one, they're not alone, and two, they have support behind them, and three, that they're doing the best job out there, being a loving parent, being with their child. That's the most important thing you can do. And scientifically, it's proven that babies who have their parents close succeed better at life. They are able to recover their health faster.
Totally believe that.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, well, after hearing Cassie's story and Bob and Karen, 535-CARE, 535-2273. You can text HOME to 345-345. rmhcdayton.org/radiothon. We would love for you to, hopefully this story has inspired you, or some of the others we've heard. It's pretty amazing. What do we have there today?
That's photos that long ago.
That's the photo of the original house
Yeah.
that
Wow.
Mom and Dad
Isn't that
stayed
cool?
at. We've got a picture of what Dayton's Children's used to look like,
Yeah.
and a picture of the NICU as it was,
Yeah, August
and how
of 89.
tiny I am. Our listeners can't see, but
Yeah.
I'm about the size of a Cabbage Patch doll, and I'm actually wearing the clothes to match because even preemie clothes didn't fit me.
Wow, that's something else.
And they were still a little big.
Oh my goodness.
That's incredible.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your story all these years later, and hopefully it's inspiring people to call now. Whether you're just calling to make a donation of any amount, or you do the pay for play thing for the noon hour, boy, we would love to have you donate. But speaking of playing songs,
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's appropriate to do a throwback from the year 2014.
Let's do it.
I heard that was a great year for music, because that is the year
Yeah.
that Cassandra wrote this Home Away from Home, and we played it on the radio back in 2014. So we're going to play it again. Please tell everybody, if they want to follow your music, how they can find you for people listening out there.
Of course. Well, any updates to what I'm up to, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CassandraJoyOfficial. You can also find the song on iTunes and Spotify. It's called Home Away from Home, and I hope you enjoy it.
All right, you're hearing it right now.
Right now.
Throwing back to 2014 on Mix 107.7. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's listen to it.
You guys were awesome.
You're awesome.
Great job.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
It was very special.
That was great.
Awesome. Yeah, you did great.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, we were all collectively quite nervous. We're all pretty good at hiding it once we're in the moment and we're there and we're into the groove, but I know I had some major butterflies on the drive there. Just rehearsing, thinking of any potential question they could ask me, trying to figure out what I wanted to say. We had a rough idea of the questions we were going to be asked, but of course you can't predict everything. So I was constantly making up questions in my head and trying to figure out answers to them just in case they would pop up. Once the interview was finished, my parents and I were given the opportunity to receive a tour of the downstairs common areas of the Ronald McDonald House. This area here is just a nice sitting room, has a few toys for littles. This TV was especially cool because it showcased where all of the Ronald McDonald families were from. Some of them have traveled quite a ways, and if you click on any of the dots, it'll showcase a picture or the family's story. I thought that was so cool that they had that documented. One of the things the Ronald McDonald House tries to do is make their establishment feel as homey as possible, so they even have a playroom for kids to go into and play on their own. But what I really loved was this toy closet, full of toys still in the package, donated by kind souls. These are set aside for kids who have birthdays while they're staying here. They go above and beyond to make life feel as normal as possible while they're in a home away from home. As you can see in this clip, we're pulling out of the parking lot of Ronald McDonald House, and Dayton Children's is literally a short walk away. How convenient for families. As we were leaving, we saw this wall mural, and the message on it felt very full circle. I forgot to mention this in the intro, and you probably caught it in the interview, but years ago in my Nashville days when I was pursuing music, I wrote a song for the Ronald McDonald House called Home Away from Home. It's actually available now on iTunes and Spotify if you want to give it a listen. But in addition to interviewing my parents and I and allowing us to share our story, they also featured my song and played it on the radio. So wild, so cool. I won't speak for my parents, but the main goal I had for this awesome opportunity, I wanted our story to not only let parents know that they're not alone in what they're going through, watching their child go through something so hard and feeling quite helpless to help them. I can't imagine being a parent and watching your kid not be well and have next to no control over being able to help them. Trusting that process to a hospital staff of strangers. Couldn't picture that, wouldn't wish that on anybody. But in addition to not wanting parents to feel alone, I also wanted to give them an example of a story where a child had a really rough start at life and a very slim chance at surviving it, and yet turned out okay. Something I wasn't able to share in the interview, but those of you watching know how precious my faith and my relationship with God is. My mom actually wrote a letter, typed it on a typewriter back in the day, and encapsulated the series of events that happened. And she even mentioned, after the doctors informed them about where I would need to have my blood replaced, my mom and dad and my grandparents all went into another room and prayed over the situation. After they did that, my condition greatly improved. You can take from that what you like. The older I get, the less I believe in coincidences, and the more I believe it's God leaving his fingerprints behind. I know this is a bit different than my typical Vlogmas content. It's not exactly Christmas themed, but it's something that happened during the month of December. It was such a special opportunity to chat with Jeff, Christy, and Dave on iHeartRadio 107.7. They are the loveliest people. I got to chat to them before and afterward, and it was a grand old time. I had fun. My extrovert heart is very happy. Basically, I just wanted to sing the Ronald McDonald's praises a little bit and share my story. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to hear the song that was featured after the interview, simply search Home Away from Home, Cassandra Joy, and it'll pop up on iTunes and Spotify. Actually, I may link it in the description box for you as well to make it easy. If you're new and haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a future video from me. I mainly upload vlogs, but every so often I do a sit-down chat where we talk about a topic, sometimes books, seasonal favorites, all sorts of fun things that you won't want to miss out on. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye!
When you can't outrun the storm, when you're looking for some shelter, well, it's right here in my arms. When everything feels lost, no, you're not alone. I'll be your home away from home. You're home away from home. When shadows start to chase you, I'll be your ray of hope. I will be your haven, the safe hand you can hold. When everything feels lost and there's nowhere else to turn, I'll be your home away from home. Your home away from home. In your darkest hour, night closing around you, I will leave a light on. tears. Just looking for some comfort. I'll be those words you wanna hear. When everything feels lost and you don't know where